What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of
Ball Status.
That's right, the podcast where we talk about the health of business and the business of health. I'm joined by Carl Frady. Wait a second. No, I'm not.
What? I'm
No,
not Carl?
I'm not.
I thought I was Carl.
This is... I was literally going to introduce you as Magnum, but that probably should.
Right
fine.
from Vegas.
This is Omari. We'll get into that more in a second, but we know meaty thighs here. We got Joey D from Project AD here today, but also this is going to be a cool conversation because we're going to really dive into retail and the health of the retail business because Joey also owns his own retail store. And how long have you been doing that?
So we officially almost going on year 6.
Like year 6. So he's been in the game pre-COVID essentially. So the world has changed quite a bit from then. But before we jump into Joey, so this is Omari. Carl is still alive. Carl is not in jail. Okay, let's just start right there.
He's free.
He's free. He's a free man. We got to fill in today. This is Omari. So he is the new general manager of the Nutrition Corners. Carl is taking on the role of VP of Operations, so he can focus more on the buying, the back end, the operation side of things, whereas Omari is the GM. So congratulations on the promo.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
And then, we know Patrick. But let's get to know Joey a little bit before we dive into some of these retail questions. So you're also VP of Sales at Project AD.
Yeah, man.
So let's start. Let's go. I give you 5 to 7 minutes for the Joey story here, right? Because we got to keep this around 40 minutes. Otherwise, people get lost. Yeah. So tell us how you came up through the industry because you actually started with Rob and Dana.
Even before then, I was with GAT.
Oh, wow. I think maybe I did know that. All right. So let's start from the beginning. How did you get into this crazy industry?
Sure, it's wild. So originally, I was working at a battery manufacturing plant, kind of like fresh out of high school, went to college because my family's on this like Italian banquet stuff. So I was with a bunch of state cops, officers, and that was kind of like the role I was always supposed
mafia.
to go to. Yeah, that's kind of like what I thought I was destined to be. I was cool, mostly Italian, dressed in a suit. I'm like, oh, this is my life. But then, no, it was just a banquet dinner. That's all it really was. So we originally, I went to college. It really wasn't for me, man. I really never was a kid that like could sit in class and learn. So I ended up getting a real job at manufacturing because I was like, listen, if I don't know what I'm doing, I got to make some money. So worked in a battery manufacturing plant, and
that sounds miserable.
It's terrible, man. I'm talking like 110-degree weather, 9 hours a day, and you're just a number. No matter if you're there for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you're just another number, right? But it taught me a lot and gave me a lot because there I was, stout, $145, skinny, and I was working around with just grown men. And it was cool because it got me into the gym because I just wanted to be a bigger dude. That's it. But I actually got into the gym and I actually started to fall in love with it. It was like a process of I found something I could actually do because I was never really good at sports. I was always a skinny kid, skater kid, hair down to my shoulders. So it just
we need some pictures.
Yeah, listen.
You need to send us pictures, and Aaron needs to put it right here on YouTube.
Cool. Yeah. So we fast forward a little bit is, got into the health and fitness, just bodybuilding and training because I just want to be better than me, right? And I lived really close to, Rob and Dana were in my area at that time. I pulled a lot of motivation for them, did their camps. And I actually was walking from one place to the next, and I seen a job on Instagram for a demo rep. And I'm like, Pennsylvania? I'm like, let's go. I'm like, I don't even know what this is, but I'm signing up for it. And it literally was just to be a demo rep for GAT Sports. And I didn't know really what it was. Signed up for it because I was like, I just want to get my foot in the door somewhere.
What year is this?
This would have been 2015. This would be 2015, 2014. And because I graduated in 2009, went to school for about 2 years, shut that down. And then I was literally in that battery manufacturing plant for 7.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So I ended up getting the job, had a phone call, was the LA Fitness training, getting it in, ended up getting a job. And they were like, hey, listen, so you just set up demo tables, you talk about our products and sell them. And I was like, sounds good. I just want to be a part of something in the fitness world. So I would work my 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever I was doing at the battery manufacturing plant. And then I would literally leave there and I would go to GNC's, vitamin shops. I would go to stores around Pennsylvania and I would just set up demos.
The grind.
That's it, man. And I don't know. For me, I just always feel like I just try to do a little bit extra. So the biggest thing what happened was I literally, because we know demo reps, like, we mostly in the career of things, you want girls. A lot of people want to come up and be able to speak to girls. Usually a kid behind a table, they don't really want to, don't want to really talk about it per se, right? So it's like one of those things where I got in it and I just grinded, man. And I was opening accounts for GAT for my boss, and I was just a demo rep. So it got into a point where I never forget, where it was almost like I was doing a job that I wasn't essentially qualified for, and I never went to school for sales, but I was like, no, man, I just love people. I love talking to people, and like, this is the easy part. So I was with GAT for about, I was a demo rep with them for 2.5 years. But I'll never forget, I literally got with them. I got invited to the Arnold. I was the only guy that got invited to the Arnold. I was on a plane with a couple other demo rep females for the booth. And I just rocked out the Arnold, man. I sold a bunch of products, and they were actually trying to hire me as a sales manager to get to take over an area. But there was just nothing open. So I really didn't know what to do. But in the meantime, I still did the thing. I still did the darn thing. And that was when, like, Big Romney was just coming up. Sadiq was the king. Nitroflex was like the king all be all. And I actually had a wonderful opportunity from, Rob and Dana and Drew. Because I went to their camps by myself. Because that's sort of thing, man. When I got into the fitness world, I just engorged myself. Like, I would go to little Kai Green seminars in Little Center City, New York by myself. I would go to Rob and Dana's camps by myself. Like, I just tried to, like, develop myself so hard into something because, like, I truly love doing it. And I just was like, well, I'm going to just sort of surround myself by this.
Fully immerse yourself.
That's it, man. And it actually was really cool because, like, I remember I was trying to, I would ask Drew, which is Rob's brother, like, hey, can I set up, like, a demo table and do some GAT stuff here? And they were like, nah, bro, we got our own brand. Like, we ain't trying to have you sell our stuff in here. You're crazy. And the cool part was, man, is I had a really good connection with them, just with going to their camps, seeing them, just supporting them, right? And what happened is it, took a full circle. And, Drew ended up, sending me a text message one day and was just like, hey, man. And I was like, who's this? He's like, it's Drew. And I'm like, Drew who? He's like, it's Rob's brother. I was like, oh, what's up, bro? Because in reality, I went to 2 different job interviews for Rob and Dana. And all it was for, and they never really told you, it was just for fly nor fail. It was for printing T-shirts. But I just wanted to get the hell out of manufacturing because I just never want to be another number. That's my biggest thing, even that I carry to this day. Like, I just don't want to be a number. And we originally, I remember Drew just looking at me, even when I came into the interview, he's like, bro, you make $23, $24 an hour at manufacturing. You're going to come here and make 15, maybe 12. He's like, because you're printing shirts. He's like, I'm not hiring you, dude. And I was like, I just want to get here, bro. All I need is my foot in the door. I might be printing T-shirts, but I promise you that's not where I'm going to be. So they never really hired me. It was a whole nother year. And then they actually ended up sending me a phone call because that's when Rob and Dana were doing the transition, like pulling out of Redcon and stuff in Florida. And they were moving their whole facility up north. So luckily, I just lived 10 minutes away from them. And I ended up going to the job interview, sat in there, was with all of them. And they were like, hey, man, so we're moving our brand here, and we would like you to run warehouse. And I was like, okay. I was like, what's it entail? They're like, you're just going to build our whole warehouse. You're going to run everything Labs products. That's what you're going to run, and you're going to start here, but we want you to build a whole shipping facility. Like, you're going to run employees. You're going to do this, 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 and this. And I was like, awesome. What's the pay? They were like $15 an hour. I was like, oof. I was like, well, I got a job promotion, man. I just make 26. I was like, I don't know. I was like, well, listen, the only thing I could ask is, like, can I work overtime? Like, just to try to make the money up? And Drew was like, honestly, bro, like, if you want to legitimately do that, he was like, we can make it happen. We can make some OT. So then, man, I just took a big leap of faith, man. I left DEC after 7.5 years. I quit GAT for 2.5 years, took a massive, massive pay cut, and I started working for Rob and M in the warehouse. And, a job that was supposed to be like me, running a warehouse like you guys have out here, it turned into not being that at all because it was just me. And bro, I worked like a dog, but I did it to just really show Rob, like, I'm here for the team, I'm here for the support. Because I knew who Rob was, and I know Rob's a really good hustler, and like, I know he's just that grind addict person. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I just know that for people, and that's kind of like, I was like, cool, man. This is what I'm going to sign up for, and I'm going to show you, like, this is not where I'm going to sit. And, like, I remember, bro, we did some crazy we had, like, a DLB Rob Bailey sale. We had, like, it was, like, a 6-figure sale in 24 hours. And it was just me packing boxes. And I'm like, I remember the stack of these prints from Shopify. And I'm like, this is about to take me weeks. And I knew Singerman was flying up. And I was like, Okay.
Was Singerman still a owner of the brand at that point?
I think so. He was still affiliated with them at some point because I know Rob moved everything up, but I think he still had ties into it. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, let me, I'm gonna like do a little self flex. I remember I got to work that day at 6 a.m. and
I think I've heard this story before.
I got there at 6 a.m. I remember I worked till 10 at night. I went home, I showered, I packed my meals, I came back, and I worked through the entire night, like the entire night in the warehouse. And I never forget that, man. I finished all like 3,000 some orders. They came in the next day, I'll never forget. I was like just distraught. I was jacked on caffeine. I was jacked up. And the place looked like a mess, bro, because it was boxes and packing peanuts. All the postal carts were filled. And I will never forget Rob's face. He came out and was like, what the f-? And Singerman's like, what is going on? I was like, it's done. And he was like, what? And I was like, it's done, bro. I'm going home. He's like, what's done? And he's like, what did you do, bro? This place looks like a disaster. I was like, the sale's done in 24 hours, bro. It's over. And Rob was like, and just came up and like that moment meant so much to me because like it was just like a high five, bro. And like Rob turned around and just like kind of waved to me. But I know how much of a big flex that meant for Rob because it was almost like his business wasn't getting treated properly at that point. And it was a cool point to just like, you brought it here and like you just did the job.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, the first point of where like I got like a little bit of an edge with Rob and like that was kind of like a big thing for him. Mm-hmm. So in reality, I worked for, I was there in the warehouse for plenty of enough time. I was there for a full, pure year and a half. And it got to a point, man, where I would finish midday. I didn't know what to do. So there I am for $15 an hour mopping floors, folding T-shirts. Because like I would do my job through the day and I got it to such a quick process that I could pack orders. It was assembly line process. I just had my motion and movement. And him and his brother were in the office the one day and I came in, I said, hey guys, I think we need to find another job for me. And they're like, well, what's wrong? I was like, listen, bro, you're paying me $15 to mop your floors. I was like, and then I have to work overtime to make money. I was like, so you're possibly paying me like $17.50 to like sweep up things. And the people that are folding shirts for $10 an hour, you're paying me $17.50 to do that. So this doesn't make sense. So he was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I can't film. I can't edit. I said that I know that's kind of like what we're looking for. I was like, so I don't know. So at that point, Rob was like, you know what, man, why don't you just go do demos in the area for Run Everything Labs? I was like, sweet. Went down to Fitness Mania, which is a supplement store that I shopped in when I was 16, and now I own it. I, started doing demos in the area, and I'll never forget because then Rob ended up letting go of like the salespeople that were like kind of doing the brand because they were just not doing what they should have been doing. And Rob was like, well, hey man, why don't you just do sales in Pennsylvania? Just try to make $5,000. I was like, okay. So then I literally went to Fitness Mania. I'll never forget, Ryan took care of me, gave me $3,500. We did a Run Everything Labs wall in there. And then I just got a couple small orders from like the other supplement stores around the area. And I'll never forget that, man, because that was on a Monday. Friday, the next Friday was the end of the month. I ended up meeting my sales goal for $5,000. And Rob was like, all right, man. So when you're done packing your orders for the first little part of the day, now you got Jersey. I was like, let's go. He was like, now you got to do $10,000. I'm like, let's get it. Well, I thought I was going to Jersey to Demon Time. No. I went to Jersey and got ripped because they were like, that brand's really not that good. That formula's really not that good. That price point's really not that good. And I was like, damn, I just felt all the love and I felt no love. But I still made that $10,000 happen. That was the coolest part because I still made some moves. People still did me some favors. And I had Jersey Shore at that time. Shout out to Brian for all the love you've ever given me. I had Jersey Shore was working with Jim Jones, old school rapper, you know what I'm saying? So I had Jim Jones and Dana trained together in Warhouse, and we ended up doing this like big like marketing co-promo event, and that was a big chunk of the $10,000 that I needed to hit. And I'll never forget that, man. That was a big point in my life. That was a big, big moment where I was packing a box, and I'll never forget that. Rob came out Monday morning and screamed at me. He was like, yo, bro, you're done packing boxes, man. You're now taking over wholesale. And I was like all of it? He's like, yeah, the whole U.S. And I was like, let's go. And that was Monday. And Friday he came out again and was like, no, like you're taking over all of the United States and international. So you get the office in the back of the corner. I was like, holy shit. And that was the moment where like that started me as a salesperson. That was the moment where like, this is where, I had a lot of wonderful friendships over the years that like helped me a lot with just taking me on the road when we used to do road trips, getting a little ride alongs with people, putting you on. And that is where I started, man. And I lived and breathed on the road. I traveled 3-4 weeks out of the month most of the time. And I tried to build that brand as much as I could. And I was with Rob and Dana for a total of 3.5, almost 4 years. And I just was a hustler, man. And I think at the end of the day, like what really helped me is like I just built relationships with people. And that is what literally brought me to BD. Because at the end of the day.
So why did you leave there?
So I ended up leaving.
Because they moved.
Yeah, so they moved to Montana. And the cool part is like, it was me, a young kid named Josh. He was the shipping guy. Crystal was customer service. And Crystal ended up quitting. And then it was me and Josh in a 30,000 plus square foot warehouse, two dudes just doing it. And it just got to a point where, I just didn't really see the vision of the brand anymore. And to me, like I said, like, wherever I've gone, man, over the years, like every career I've had, every job I've had, I've been there expeditious amount of time. Yep. Because like I don't want to pinball around. And that's like the biggest thing when I brought myself here to AD was like, this is it, man. Like Joey D, Project AD. Like, that's what I've like been known for. You know what I mean? Like I want people to think I own the brand because I'm be a face of the brand. And I just didn't really see where the brand was going. And I knew them moving to Montana. I knew that was a step in a direction where like, they were moving into a better life. That's where they were because they used to honeymoon there. Right. And Rob was like, you know what? Like, hell with PA. Let's go to where we love to be. And honestly, man, like Run Everything Labs wasn't, I think, just in my opinion, it just wasn't getting the attention it needed. It wasn't really a focal point because Rob was just excelling in all these other businesses and stuff that people don't even know. Rental properties, Fly Nor Fails, just still crushing it. And I just didn't think like Run Everything Labs was really doing it. And then of course, you guys know how it is, man. Like if you're not in the limelight and, Dana wasn't competing and driving, it's just like people didn't really care about the brand. And it sucks because, she's such an incredible woman. And I just think like, in reality, like, her competing didn't like define who she was. You know what I mean? And I just didn't see a really long career for me. I didn't really see like myself being here.
So then how'd you get with Project AD?
So I got with AD because I actually was dealing with one of my retailers at that time. And originally kind of came across an email where like the guy that was there before me, he wasn't there very long. I think maybe like 2 months. And he just didn't work out for him. Came across an email where I seen his name, which is Frank Colicino. And I shot him an email just because, like, young kid in the game. And I was like, hey, man, I got some things to talk to you about, money, financials, da-da-da-da. And we got together. We sat at this little Mexican restaurant on a hill, and 2 Italians just got talking and shooting the shit. And I was taking Project AD supplements because I was coached by Johnny Castellina for my first ever coach in 2016. And that's how I actually found Project AD because he put me onto it. And I just love the products, the formulas, the efficacious dosing, like everything about it was really cool. And I love the fact that it was like an underground brand, but it just stood for so much and it was quality. And at that point in time, I was asking Frank, like, hey, man, I got to get out of here. Like, I know I'm on borrowed time. Like, the sand's running out. Like, I don't want to be here when the ship sinks. I just want to leave before it happens, and I want to leave in a good way. But I don't know who I can work for because if I go and work for another company, whether it's a paycheck, whether it's exponential amount of money, that's great. But at the end of the day, man, if I don't believe with what I'm selling and I truly don't like love what I do, I can't be here. I just can't. It's just morally, I just can't. And that's why it goes back to manufacturing, man. Like the first couple of years of manufacturing, great. I was making good money. I was enjoying life. I was a young kid. And then it got to a point where I was like, wow. So sweating in a factory in 100-degree weather every day is not it. Making $46,000 a year is not it. And then the best part is like, cool, I can be here for 20 years, man. I get treated like somebody who's been here for a month. And it goes back to just, I'm not just a number. So I talked to Frank, and Frank's just been, he is an incredible individual. I truly love that man. That man's been a big piece of my life, and he's been supporting me plenty of ways. And Frank just pretty much was like, hey, man, like I would love to get you over here at AD, but we're just not really hiring anybody. He's like, me and Joe are just rock and rolling, doing ourselves. He's like, but I don't know of any other brand that's hiring right now that you would really like to be with. And I was like, well, I know Gad, because my old boss, Joe Vespier, was there. I was like, I know, between him and Mark Post, they both had a really good relationship with me. I know they were trying to get me over there. And I was like, but I just don't know, man. I just like, it's just selling a brand. I'm like, here we go back to just a job. You know what I mean? So Frank ended up, I worked for another whole year with Rob. And Frank gave me a phone call one day, was like, why don't you come to Texas, man? And I was like, well, actually, bro, I'm doing a sales trip there next month. He's like, well, come and hang out at the house. Cook some steaks, hang out by the pool.
Oh, we've been to Frank.
You know the deal.
He was my first person when I got on the core sales side.
Oh,
I was in retail stores.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, come on to Texas. And so I spent the night. I stayed at his house.
Sit, bro.
We laid out by the pool.
Yep.
Frank had his little skimpy suit on, the Italian suit.
You know it, bro.
And so, he took me, just rode along with him.
Yep. So it's like pretty much the same way. Like I went there, and we didn't do no ride-alongs. It was really just like coming to hang out. I never forget the girl he was with, Joanne, at that time. Cooking some steaks, hanging out.
Yeah,
cool. She's OG.
She cooked.
Almond cookies?
She flexed.
Them almond cookies?
Yeah. Almond cookies and fillets, baby.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I remember that because I ended up somehow she cooked for me too.
Yeah,
when we were there.
We were
in.
We were in Texas doing. What were we doing? We met with Muscle Foods or Your-Pack, and we took a picture. It was pre-COVID, and we were like, "It's the year of the good guys." Like we were, I don't know, we were just on a tear, dude. We were just trying to be good with other brands.
Yeah.
We had dinner with Joey, and
that was when the first time I saw somebody, and now I steal I steal his thing. Joey pulled out this little bottle filled with sucralose, like pure sucralose,
dude,
to flavor everything. He carried that everywhere, and so now at home, like to flavor coffee and whatever,
dude,
because he would put that on everything.
No, but he was so hardcore, like carnivore, right? Like or whatever.
He didn't want the maltodextrin and Splenda, but he wanted
paleo.
Yes.
And dude, I remember him. He was like eating the bones.
Weird
raw.
Just eating the bones and raw meats.
Like people, I don't know what you understand. Like when we say raw, not like, ooh, you get
Like
that nice meat on. I'm talking like
we're full on
some
like
raw beef, like
you find roadkill and you're just like,
No.
yeah.
I mean,
He's still alive?
Still rock and roll in Miami, bro.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So basically, you went on to work underneath Frank. We got to fast forward here.
Yeah, so I ended up working underneath Frank.
And then you basically took over Frank's job when he left.
Yeah, so literally, I worked underneath Frank for a few years. Frank had an amazing opportunity that he thought was really great for himself, so he took it, jumped on board, moved to Florida, started working with another company.
So what year is this? Did you take Frank's job?
So we're in 2000. Okay, so we're in 2025. I've been the VP now for three and a half. So we're like what 2021, 2022ish.
Okay, so let's get into the kind of important part for this conversation. So at this point, because you've been in retail now for 6 years.
Yeah.
So at some point you were sales guy with AD when you took over the took over the store?
Yes, because when I was still there. Frank,
so how did you get to the store? Like how did you take over as owner from the store?
So that's actually pretty cool. So the store that I shopped at for many years, I think in reality, like the management of it just wasn't so good. But I also think like the business strategy wasn't progressing. Because what the store usually would do is like say they would buy a product for say $25, he would sell it for $30 because it was all about turning volume. Because before that, he would make $5 per product. But in reality, this was before the Amazon. This was before the influencers. This was before everything. So people just bought volume. And what happened was what you would do is like it got to a position where he would invest, the profit he would invest that he was making into a new brand. Well, now that brand wouldn't sell. So now you lost the profit. But to make $300-400 was exponentially selling so much volume. Now it turned into a position where you're losing money and now you're losing products, you're losing everything. So he got to a point where he was in a really financial hard spot. I helped him out a little bit. I would work a couple days at the stop. And I would just work at the shop by just popping my laptop up and doing AD because I just had no place to work because we was remote. And I'll never forget, I said to him, I came in one day, I was like, I'm going to open a store 20 minutes away from you. Can you be my business partner? I was like, because I don't want to compete against you, man. I've been shopping here since I was 15 years old. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And he was like, honestly, man, I'm done. Because he never was really into the supplement world.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know what, I think we're just going to shut the store down. And this was right before COVID. Because if he never would have gave it to us, it was over. Like it was over. Because there was nothing he was going to be able to do. So
you took it over and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
You must have been like,
check this out. So when we took the store over, me and my business partner, Joe, we took it over 50-50. It was just a handshake agreement. And it was just
not AD Joe.
No, this was a Joe Schwartz. He used to work for 5% Nutrition for years. He's been in the health industry, vitamin shops. He's done a bunch of cool stuff. So me and him just essentially agreed because in reality, like it's I say it all the time, it's my area. I've been born and raised there. Like the community, the gyms, everything, like everything in that area, I'm rooted there. And that's where I was like, well, I want to open my own store because I've traveled all over the years and I'm like, I don't know, I see what other people are doing and I just was like, you know what, I want to do my own thing. And that didn't mean I was leaving AD. It's just like I wanted to have my own business.
Yep.
So we ended up taking over the store, and like I will never forget, took it over. Things were good. I hired my other friend at that time, and then we're rolling. And I brought my buddy, my little brother Gage in, got him in the mix. We're rocking and rolling. Things great, crushing days, and all of a sudden COVID hits, and ever since COVID, it just even after COVID was done, business never went back to where it was. Like
It was different.
It just
different.
changed,
Felt different.
man. Yeah, it changed. Even like because we're so big in our community, and I think that's the huge thing. It's the community interaction, and it's the love that you give out. It's what the love that you get back. And I think at the end of the day, like COVID just ripped people in a different direction, because it's just like the interaction, the people being out and about, like people just going places now. Like it accustomed people to now just be refined in their houses.
You can just buy on
ordering
Amazon.
online. Yeah,
Well, I
like,
also think it's messed with people that people don't even understand or realize.
they don't.
Right? Like they haven't come to that.
but people-
Whatever happened during that time, they might not be wrestling with it yet.
Yeah.
But it still fundamentally has changed a lot, right? Like
100%.
so yeah, it's a weird time.
I feel like it
It
made
is.
you slow down. And
Yeah.
then when it was over and you got released to go back outside, right? And we just like sped up quicker than we ever did before.
Yeah.
So now it's just, I don't have time to order. I don't have time to go see this. I don't have time to talk to you to check in. I'm just going.
Yeah, because what people don't realize, it's like even foot traffic.
Well, it was an experience. Like people used to go to retail stores, and like we saw this in our stores. Like everybody wanted the experience. They would go there and talk to somebody, and they'd pick it up, and then from there, it was just kind of like you were trained to do everything on Amazon, and you were trained to just be on your gadgets and your tablets and your everything else. And so it literally changed, and even like social media changed so much then because the amount of content people were putting out at that point, everyone started to be content creators.
Everyone.
And so then it just changed. So then like information traveled faster, and so like it did create a weird spot for retail. So one of the questions I have here is like, how has your approach to running the store evolved over the years, especially with the rise of e-commerce, competition, big box, Walmart, Costco?
Massively changed.
Yeah.
Massively
So do you have
changed.
a e-commerce site to support your brick and mortar, or are you only brick and mortar?
We are brick and mortar.
Yep.
We don't got a website. We
Yep.
don't got a TikTok. We don't got nothing.
Yeah.
We got 2 double doors with a welcome in. What's up? That's
Yeah.
all we got.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, like
and
at
a
the end of the day-
megaphone.
That's it.
And a megaphone.
That's it, man. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be real honest with people. I know. Listen, I order off Amazon too because it's convenient.
Yeah.
I don't order my supplements though.
Right.
But I understand that. But in reality, there's one thing that we haven't changed. But I think that the one thing that we haven't changed is the community and the effort that we put ourselves out there to help people. And I think the only thing that we've done now over the course, of the past, 2 years, now that like life has kind of like opened its doors back up a little bit again, we've put our foot to the floor on that. I now put
Meaning
ourselves everywhere.
the outreach aspect, because I know we had a massive drop. So I will say that actually 2021 was probably our most profitable year ever in the retail side, because there was this boom right after COVID. I don't know what it was. I think people were craving that connection or something like that. So
were, like,
2021
pent
was actually crazy.
Well, there was a big health push as
There was
well.
that- there
right?
was
Like,
that-
everybody was
that-
down.
it was the health push.
Everybody was coming out with vitamin C. I mean, we launched vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc
Yep.
during that time,
Yes.
right? Like so, all that was a big buzz during that time.
Yeah, so there was that big health push, and then this is before the inflation started kicking in.
Yeah.
Then you hit 22, 23, and things are starting to go crazy. Cost of goods, all that stuff kind of went through the roof, and then that was, kind of that tough time. But, we used to do so many demos. And then after COVID, everyone was leery on demos. I don't think we ever got our demos back. And this is one of the big things that Amari is tasked with rebuilding for our, that was our bread and butter. That's how we had, $3,000 a day stores every day, was because we were in the community. It like built those connections. And I would say we've gotten away from that for one reason or the other through the years, whether or not it's just not carving out the time or not, whatever it is. But I know for us, one of our big pushes now is to get back to the demos.
Back to the community.
Because we've
Because it's the community. Like goes to what you're saying. It's all about the community.
It is because we've also seen a pivot in the industry. Like how many demo reps was there used to be with companies, man?
Yep.
That was a driving force.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where demo reps, it was such a commitment for a company because you had somebody that would represent your company and you didn't know what they were doing. You had to trust that person. Ooh, this person's in Tennessee doing demos at all these stores, or they're in Pennsylvania doing demos at these stores. Well, how are they carrying themselves there? How are they really correlating? How are they really talking about the brand like we would want to talk about our brand? And demo reps kind of faded away. And then, even to this point now, it's like we realize at the end of the day, because I say this to my business partner, marketing is everything. Yes, I do agree marketing has such a big pull, right? Because of social media, TikTok, Instagram, everything. It's marketing, media, and because of the younger generation, all that stuff. The end of the day, though, I can spend money every week and every month on Facebook ads, right? I'll get a bunch of likes, get a bunch of clicks. That's okay. Let me talk to you. Let me really see what's up with you. Let me really build that connection with you. Let me know your first name. Let me know what you've been doing. Let me know how your life is. Now, all of a sudden, you shop with me because I provide you a service, but I provide you a relationship.
You provide trust.
Yeah,
So-
because it's a drive.
One of my favorite sayings, and this was Joe Mansell down in Massive Joe's. He said this once when we were down in Australia doing, I don't know what we were doing. I was on a tour or something, and I never forget it. He said, "Content is king, but community is kingdom."
Love that.
And that is so true. It's such a great quote. And it's just you got to build that community. So sometimes it takes content to build the community. So that's a part of it, right? But I'll take community over content all day long. I don't need to be social. I don't need to be on social media if I have every person in Iredell County here who works out at our gym and sees Omari and Amber in Mooresville Nutrition Corner
And just buys one product.
and buys one product, right? You don't have to be so I'll take that community because that's real connection. That is what fills everybody's love tank in terms of being on the retail side. Retail is a grind. And we tell people this before we give them a manager's position. I was like, are you sure? Do you know what retail is?
Yeah.
It's a freaking grind. But, honestly, it's one of those things. It's like golf. This is what I say. Retail's like golf. I just made this up.
You'll never make
But, it's just this is going to be good. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. All right. So, no, it's that you can be shooting 120, right? But it's that one shot that you put within 2 feet from that hole from, 100 yards out that will make you come back, right?
But
it's that one interaction with that customer that comes in, and you can see they might be, you can tell they had a bad day or they're in a bad spot. They're almost in tears. And then next thing you know, you're almost in tears because you feel so you were so connected with this person, you got to help them. And then now, next thing you know, you're texting them after they go hey, how, let me know if there's anything else I can do. Let me know if you have any questions. And then they're hitting you back. Hey, well, I forget how to take this. And it's just you build that connection, and then that fills your love tank for the week.
Oh.
And so it's just that's the spot that.
So human connection building, that love tank. Yeah. I mean, I'm a retail guy. I've been put into sales position, right? Yeah. And so I get refilled and the highest off an event, or hey, nobody's over here at the Crusher Coliseum. Somebody comes over. Hey, I got somebody over here that is looking for a fat burner. All right, I'll go over there. So I go over there. Next thing you know, I'm in a 30-minute conversation. I'm overwhelmed over here. I got so much going on over here, but focusing on this one person and their goals for 30 minutes. Now, the sale was a $200 sale, so it was nice at the same time. But it wasn't about the sale, right? It was about the entire part of the interaction. Yep. And that fills my love tank to go over, continue to do what we do. Because I think what happens is that you get in this bubble, right? And you're in a B2B world all the time. Yep. And it's just it's a lot of transactions.
Yes.
But getting back on that retail floor and having that human connection with somebody face to face is what I miss. That just fills your soul, right?
I'm terrible at that, man. Because listen, I can't be at my store all the time. Luckily, I have wonderful people there. I got my boys that hold me down and hold the store down, because I get to the store and now a customer comes in and it's automatic. I'm like, what's up? How's your day going? How you doing? They're like, good. I'm like, what brings you in? They're like, oh, I just was, I was looking for a pre-workout.
An hour later,
I'm so deep in that $24.99 sale, bro. I'm like, this didn't pay for my time. But it's no, actually it did, because that customer now is going to come here because of their interaction. That customer is going to tell their friend, their family member. And now all of a sudden, Trinity Nutrition isn't just a supplement store no more. We're a destination place.
Yep. Right.
And now it changes because I think that's a little bit of a different, where I think, I hope a lot of other retail stores listen to this, because yes, you're in the business of selling supplements, but you're also in the business of selling health and wellness and other things. It's different.
You're
that's
you're in the business of people.
Boom.
You just happen to be selling supplements.
That's it, man.
So have you seen a shift in the type of customers that are walking through your door? Like I remember back in the day, like our bread and butter was bros, hardcore athletes or broskies that want to get jacked to go to the bar.
Yep.
And nowadays I feel like the consumer might be a little different. So what are you seeing in your store? And you know, every store is different. Everyone, you know, someone that are in your military, you're going to get the more broski, or across the street from the gym, you're going to get the more broski. Some are more earthy, crunchy, Whole Foods type, you know, people. But what have you noticed a difference, or is it still the same type?
I think so. I think what makes us a little bit different is because of what we did in the store to create diversity.
Yeah.
Because
so let's talk about that. And when did you become way more than just supplements?
Because originally when we took over the store, it was all supplements, and even for years of the first essentially 3 years that we've had the store, it was all just supplements. Now it turned into like, okay, listen, let's carry food, let's carry other things that go with the supplements. Because listen, I could sell you a fat burner, but like if your diet's wrong, the fat burner don't work, right? So then now you don't even come back to buy the fat burner because you don't think the fat burner didn't work. So now we started carrying food, and like when we started carrying food from another prep company that was a husband and wife, we like realized like, ooh, like there's a door that opens here. This is another avenue where people can provide money and spend money here, where we can like give them a different service. So what we started doing is now we have changed our store to not be a supplement store. We are now, if I put a point on it, I'm going to say we are 65% supplements and 35% grocery. Because what we've did, and
your groceries is hummus fit meals, and what else?
So we do hummus fit meals. I have Flavor Gang, so we do all the cream of rice. We have wonderful sauces from Flavor Gang. We got new sauce in the building that does incredible sauces. I got even down to like seasonings, Celtic sea salt. Like we expanded even into our health and wellness section to where we have vitamins, natural herbs, standalone ingredients. So now is a point where I don't see a customer every 30, 60 days to buy their pre-workout. I now see them every week on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, Thursday, because now they're coming here multiple times, because it used to be a point when they would come in and just grab an energy drink. Well, now you're getting energy drinks at Sheetz and Wawa and gas stations, right? But now I provide a amazing service. So now I've now become a position where you're coming to the store to buy your supplements, but I'm also now your new grocery store. Because now I'm also providing you very healthy meals with no preservatives, no fillers, no gaps. And now it just enhanced us as a supplement store to now be a multi-channel revenue business.
But you can't do that expansion or that diversification without that trust.
Yeah, because that's a big thing, especially when you get into food and stuff.
So now I'm getting into something else. But like you are a regular customer of mine, and you trust me, so like I got to introduce you to this over here, right?
Yeah.
So like you still have to go back to like building that trust, getting to know that customer, and know what their goals are, right? And then now this is not just to sell you and to potentially make more money. This is to get you to where you need to go.
Yeah, this is a legit benefit. It's like, you're literally gonna now spend a little bit more money here, but I'm providing you something that's exponentially better for you. Because in reality, when you go to the grocery store and you want to go spend your $2 and get a Hungry Man meal that's completely terrible, you're going to come spend $5 with me, $6 with me, and I'm going to give you something that's actually purely healthy that you can give to your kid.
Nobody's walking you through nutrition though in a grocery store.
Nobody.
Right?
Nobody.
Do you do in-body scan? I know a lot of retailers.
So a lot of retailers, that was the thing.
So you do an in-body scan at Mooresville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the only reason we don't, and this goes into relationships. I have a wonderful relationships with all the gyms in our area. An absolutely incredible relationship. I started when it was only one gym. Now they have 3. Plus we have another gym called Retro Fitness we do really well with. Every one of those gyms got in-bodies. So all I do, hey, that's your business. You guys keep that. I don't want to step on your toes because we work so networked together. Yep. Now, if you guys have in-bodies, I'll tell my customers, hey, go do the in-body over there, get your document, come back over to see me.
Yeah.
And that's what we do vice versa. So now we literally have a partnership from the gyms to our store to now where the gyms send us
back
people.
To the community.
So do they sell supplements in their store?
And they buy their supplements from us.
There we go.
At wholesale.
At wholesale. Yeah, they do carry like the drinks and stuff like that, through distribution.
Yeah,
but all the supplements that you see in there, except for like they carry one brand that we don't carry, and that's just for a respect issue. Just because I'm like, oh well, you guys carry it's Axe and Sledge. They carry Axe and Sledge, and I'm like, well, you guys have it here. I'm like, I don't need to carry it then. Like it's not that big of a deal for me. You know what I mean? But in reality, they wholesale their stuff to us. So when we go and do demos there and we sample out products, we're selling our products that they buy from us at wholesale.
So when you go do a demo in theirs, you're selling their inventory that they bought from you.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a 50-50 because we demo out food, we demo out our muffins, we do snacks and bars. Like we actually bring a lot of stuff they don't have because like I'm like, let me show you all the stuff that you don't see every day.
Right.
But in reality, it's just like, hey, listen, if you like that bucked up, they got those over there. They got 4 flavors. You can go grab a scoop for $1.50, or we got them at the shop for $35.99.
Yeah. So they're selling by the scoop, or do they sell the whole tubs?
So
too?
they sell mostly by the scoops. They
Okay,
do,
makes sense.
have like almost like a small black racking of supplements.
Yep.
Which they maybe drop like $400, $500, $600 with us a month. So it's not a lot. It's just almost like have a couple supplements there for convenience.
Yep.
But in reality, everybody that's at the gyms comes over to see us anyways. Which honestly goes back to that original question. We've actually seen so much diversity in people, man, with bringing in food and changing who we are as a supplement store.
So how did you get that word out to your you're a bro, Joe.
Yeah, man.
Bro, you are a Joe, like through and through.
That's
so
it,
like,
bro. Body,
how do you?
heart.
And I know you probably, because you treat your customers so well, you have little old ladies coming in too, right? But how do you grow that market to all those other people that are so skeptical about walking into a bro shop? Was that all word of mouth? Is that through demos? How do you actually spread that through the community so they know that, hey, Trinity was once a supplement store. Well, hey, guess what? Now they got banging food. Did you do advertising? Did you do social media marketing? What spread the word to let people know that?
Because that's what we were originally. When it was Fitness Mania, man, it was a bro shop.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, what's underneath the table?
Yeah, right.
It was a bro shop.
Wearing the pro hormones.
Yeah. So like that was a hard little step for us because we needed to change the business because if we didn't, the business would have died.
Yeah.
So this is where like I feel like because like we do we do our online, we do our social media because we don't have a website, so we do like our Instagram and our Facebook, right? So between the Instagram, the social media, putting out consistent content, we're doing demos at places that aren't even in gyms. Like we did a father and son's basketball tournament with 100 people there. Where like you got the father, the son, they're playing basketballs. Guess what? There's Trinity Nutrition out there giving out muffins, doing different promos, doing like sample stuff. Because now all of a sudden it's like we're in places that people would never see a supplement store. Like I'm on Fall Fest at an art festival.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, well, I'm not just a supplement store. I am here for everybody. I can provide something for everybody. Because listen, there's how many people that walk through Chick-fil-A, all different demographics, right? That's exactly what I want to come in my door. Because a lot of times, man, the bros don't really spend the money.
No.
The bros are spending their money over on the other side. So I want the everyday. I love the mom and dads. I love the mid-range people. I love the business people that don't have time. I love the moms that they don't have enough time to get stuff.
You love the moms, Joe. I know what you
love
said.
the moms.
Put that in the trailer. Yeah. I love the moms.
to my girlfriend at home, I love you too.
Yeah.
But then you find that everybody takes a supplement. Right?
Everybody takes a supplement because at the end of the day, even when you don't think about it, you're buying your fish oil now with me because you trust it instead of buying your fish oil in that grocery store, which the quality and what you're spending, I would rather just tell you to burn your money. So
let's transition quickly to brands. My phone died, so I don't have the rest of my questions. But what do you look for when bringing in a brand? Because I know from our so there's retail that we have found has changed quite a bit, whereas a lot of retailers, and this is the same for distribution, even on the distribution side, a lot of retailers change because they want to carry brands that people already even know that have a super strong D2C. I remember the days when, a mom and pop retailer did not want you if you had a strong D2C.
Doug, you remember that?
You had a promo code?
Listen,
Promo code?
Promo code?
Listen.
Hey,
because you know what we used to say? When you'd walk in and be like, we're brick and mortar exclusive, they'd be like, oh, so what's up? What's your name? Right?
Yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, we're brick and mortar exclusive. They're like, who are you?
Yeah, and then they say, but the problem there is because, so you don't really do much online. You haven't built that following online. So it's just like they want the easy sale, right? Like, so they want to carry, all the big brands that are killing it right now.
Absolutely.
The Raws, the Rise, the Ghost, right?
The Bucked Ups,
Where
all that.
Bucked Up, like those four that, that everyone knows, like the 9-figure brands that are going to move regardless because they're on TikTok and doing all that stuff. And that things have changed so much. So I'm assuming you carry probably all those brands or some of them.
So I'll be completely honest. Like, listen, like I'm in a position at our store that I don't carry a lot of the hype brands. I don't carry Rise. I don't carry it. I don't carry, Raw.
Yeah.
I used to carry Revive just to support my boy Frank. But a lot of the products that they have, I found with other brands because I get better service, and I get better taken care of.
So what do you look for in a brand when you go to bring them on?
Because like in reality, still like, I mean, I do carry bucked up, because if I don't carry bucked up, like I don't want customers walk out the door. But here's the thing. If you're going to come in for bucked up, let me give you something from a couple other brands, and let me dabble your feet in some water that you probably don't ever been in.
I think one of the big things there is just like, still sell them the bucked up.
Yes.
Because one of the things that we've learned that the worst thing you can do, hey, I would like C4. And you're thinking like,
That sucks.
that sucks. Loser. But that's the worst thing. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's right over here.
Bro, what flavor?
Yeah, no.
Like, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
like what
get you that
flavor?
C4.
And then they say, hey, you want to try a sample? How about I got a sample? I got something that, might be a little bit stronger, or, it might give you a little bit better pump. You can try it out, take your C4 and let me give you a couple samples to try next time. And again, it comes back to building that trust. And you see a lot of meathead retailers, or some people that are these holier than thou supplement takers that think, I only got to take the best. I need clinical doses of this and this. And, I'm saying this from a perspective that everything that we do is efficacious. Like Core has been built on that foundation, but like some people are supplement snobs.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think the worst thing too is like,
it just makes the person feel like an idiot.
Yeah, and then too, if like I feel if you come in, it's just like imagine if you came to a restaurant every time and you got like that one meal and you love that meal because every time you got it, it just hits.
Yeah.
Imagine if you came in there and you're like, hey, I'd like to get this meal, and they were like, you know what, we don't have that no more. We'll do this. It automatically changes the perception.
Yep.
Instead of like you ordered the meal and then they came up like, hey, try this appetizer.
Right.
The relationship changed
Yeah,
immediately.
try that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for us, that's what we do. That's one of our biggest things in our store. I carry a lot of variety. I carry things that will battle other products, right? I have things that, AD is big in my store because, it's who I am, it's where I'm at. But I do carry products that will battle AD because in reality, hey, maybe you don't want nitrox this month. Love it. I got this one. Hey, I got this one. This one's got a new flavor. You want this one, a little bit of focus? Because in reality, that's the beautiful thing about the supplement world. There's a lot of great brands out there and people don't know them. Like, look at you guys. You guys have how many brands with you? And it's like, well, hey, maybe somebody's only ever tried Core. And it's like, hey, well, guess what? Why don't you try Unmatched? Hey, why don't you slide over here and get a little fun and try America? You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, like, that is where we go back to like the OG. It's like dropping the mitt in the hand. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, if you want to come for something that you love and you really like the product, absolutely. I will sell you that. I'll make sure I have the flavor you like. But let me build that relationship and let me open your mind to things. Because guess what? You're going to love a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But you just don't know of them.
And
So-
everybody wants options.
Yes, because even for me, because, Project AD, what we've always done here is what brought me to the brand. And that is clinical dosing, very good formulas, no, gray area stuff. It's just efficacious. You guys know the deal. It's what you guys do here, right? So I like to look at brands, and that's something I always do, especially for me. I want to look at a nutrition label and be like, ooh, that's nice. Or, okay, I see what you're doing. Like, it gets me excited because that's what gets me excited. If I all of a sudden turn a product around, I'm like, okay, cool. So that's caffeine, beta-alanine, citrulline. Okay, seen that 9 years ago. Like,
Right.
I don't want to see it. Well, hey, man, listen, I'll give it to you for $15. You could sell it for $40. No enticement.
Unless it carries that name, and I'm not dogging maybe one of the bigger names that we were talking about, right? But it might be one of those names
Yes.
that people are coming in to
Yes.
grab that we might not be, it might not be the most efficacious, but like people are going to come in the door for
Yeah, because
this.
I do love
now
that.
I have to balance this, right? Like
Yeah.
there's passion over here, there's education behind here. I can get you with the better product here.
Yep.
But first, maybe I need to get that one person in my door, and they maybe not have come in the door unless it was big name.
Right, you got to be
Right.
tactical,
Yeah,
right?
But I was gonna say, because that's like with all the big brands and with all like the big brands, it's like, hey, listen, we all want to also be there.
Oh,
And we, you know what I'm saying? Like we would love.
I love the smaller brands that say, I can't believe you sold to Walmart.
yeah,
That was dramatic.
What are you trying to think
Put
we're
that
doing?
in the trailer.
Yeah. What are
I
you-
can't believe it. A vitamin shop.
yeah.
What a sellout.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when we did the. I mean,
I was
so
saying, you all probably got
Core's
torqued
no longer
down,
in
man.
Vitamin Shop, but when we took the Vitamin Shop deal, a couple of them, why'd you go to Vitamin Shop? I'm like, you want to send me over $1 million PO? I'll give you exclusive.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
like, come on.
If you want to order 10 pounds to your store,
Got
I'll be
you,
there and live there.
yeah,
all the time.
yeah. I'll live there for a whole year. I'll help you.
Yep. So at the end of the day, with the big brands, with what you guys have done, listen, you guys done incredible things, and we're definitely not knocking that. We're just knocking the simple fact where, we're just on a different side of the fence. We love our brands. We love what we built. We believe in what we built. And we realize that, like, you know what? I do think what our products have are better than what is out there in the main light and the mainstream. I do. I truly do. And if you want to go formula, for flavor, whatever case, we can. But even if I don't really support you guys, I respect you from a business perspective. But guess what? There is one thing I love. You're bringing some people in my door. Now it's time for me to do what I do. So now it's time for me to show you other things, open your eyes to other things, give you different lanes of things to try.
So as a VP of sales at AD and then also a supplement store owner, how do you balance your day? Do you spend much time in the retail? I mean, for running all the brands and different businesses I do, I know I cannot spend time in a retail store. So like, what does your day or your life look like? I mean, how involved are you? I know you got your guy over here
in the cut.
running. Yeah. So like,
which I couldn't. I honestly, man, at the end of the day, like, if I didn't have Gage and I didn't have my other, I call my other brother Richie. If I didn't have these two guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that's also. I mean, it, man. Like, you do so much. And if you didn't have good people behind you,
sure.
you know the deal. You wouldn't be able to progress. And, I've been very fortunate because when I did take over the store and we were there, I was in that store every day. And even though I was in that store, I wasn't working. I had my laptop open. I'm calling stores and I'm banging AD emails and doing my thing, but I was present in the store.
Yep.
Luckily now, I get to my store, maybe once a week, maybe twice if I got to pick up my girlfriend food or she'll kill me.
So who approves? Do you have to give say to approve a brand, or is that on?
So it's pretty cool. So there's we've gone through, and this is things for even.
Listen,
us.
We're trying to get the Crush It brand sales up here. So do I need to bug you, or do I need to bug him? That's really what I'm. That's really what I'm getting
an
at.
inside question.
Yeah, right. So
in reality, the cool part is like over the course of the years, we've always said this is where like business gets rocky. You kind of refertilize the ground. You got to redo what you're doing. We're in a very good spot now. I think the relationship that what we have with my guys here, we are in a group text. When something gets brought up, something gets done, we talk about it, we look at it, because I want everybody to like it.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong. I get a little aggressive sometimes because this is something that I do even though that I'm not in the shop. I'm always looking for the shop to progress because when I'm on the road in stores, I'm looking at what stores are doing.
Check for boogers in their toilets.
That's
make
it.
sure
I said, okay, you guys are crushing on that.
Dude, that's honestly one of my favorite things to do is like because Carl's big thing was sit on the toilet and check for boogers, right? Well, then sometimes you go to a toilet
and you sit on the toilet and you see boogers.
You see shit. Right,
yeah.
Like you see things everywhere.
Yeah, you might as well hover.
Pat used to send videos
I'll take pictures and send it I'll put it in the Nutrition Corner Slack and be like, "Yo, don't be this."
Yeah,
don't be that guy. Don't be that store.
Yeah, because honestly, it's like that's something that I do for the store all time, every time. Whether I'm sending stuff to Gage or I'm shooting things to Gage, like nonstop, or even in our group chat with our guys, like I am looking to always progress the store because I realize that I can help build a store more with not being in it every day.
Yeah.
Because of what I do outside the store. My guys in the store now carry, it's almost like they're the dogs pulling the sled now. Like, because in reality, it's just like, I could put the gas in the car, but Gage is the one driving the car every day with Richie. And at the end of the day, it's like we're now in a position now where, with what we're doing, it's like, if I would go work full time in my shop, like, I could say here, like, it's not a like a personal or selfish thing. Like, I do think if I went hardcore, went in my store, I know the store would do more. I really do. I really know that we could absolutely do more. But it's like, but we are doing more.
But at what cost too?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I do so much. Like I have 47 athletes right now over lifestyle and everything else, which I haven't had a weekend off in 7 years. I don't have Sundays. People don't know that. I don't have Sundays.
Say that again, please.
Huh?
Say that again, please.
Which one? The 47 or not having weekends off?
No weekends off?
No weekends off.
Oh, man.
Are you going to send that to all your retail?
No, and honestly, that's just what it takes, man.
No
That's just honestly, it's just what it takes, bro. It's really what it is. Like,
little does anybody know, this is now part of the training. The Mari's going to make everybody watch this one.
Yeah, so all my general managers and nutrition corners, listen, I love y'all, guys and girls, so this is not my fault. All right? I love y'all. Just seen y'all in Virginia. I love y'all.
He's trying to get that Project AD sales up.
Hit me up.
And then just to circle back, Doug, sounds like we got to get in the group text for the Crush It brand.
But honestly, I think it's a great thing, man. I think the constant communication, I think, and the constant like trying to uplift the store. Because in reality, like even if I'm at the forefront of the store, I also expect my guys to come to things to the table.
Yeah.
Because when they bring something to the table, I'm not over here like, oh, that's not good enough. It's like, nah, man, tell me why. Let's do it. Let's take a shot. Let's see what's up. And guess what? I brought in a product sometimes that don't sell. Yeah. Gage has brought some stuff in that didn't really move. But guess what? We've also brought in a lot of stuff that's done really, really well.
It makes the table better.
It sure does. Because honestly, yes, it's my store. And yes, it's Joe's store. We're 50-50. But guess what? It's also Gage's store. And it's also Richie's store. And I think that's what also sets it off because like Gage runs that store like it's his business. And like when he leaves that store to go to the gym, it's still working his business. When he's there every day in the gym, he's still talking to people while he's in between his stuff.
It's like, a lifestyle.
It makes a difference. And it's like, it makes a difference, man, because now people walk in and like, now there's customers that walk in just to see Richie. There's customers that walk in just to see Gage. There's customers that walk in just to see my dog Zeus. You know what I mean? Like
dogs are key. You put a dog in a store and you have people coming.
Just guys, if you do it, like I took the pit bull route, it kind of was sketchy for a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be careful. All right, we're at 55 minutes.
Awesome.
And if we had a cigar, this could probably be like a 4-hour this could be a 4-hour podcast on retail. So we'll have to probably do another one of these on the State of the Union on retail. But last closing question. So if there's a lot of bros out there that want to own a supplement store. So based on your experience, based on the current state of affairs in the world today, what is your biggest piece of advice you could give them?
Oh, man. Understand it's going to be absolutely, completely, and totally hard. Understand that, like, I know you might have a couple of your buddies that might buy a couple pre-workouts. It's not going to float the bills.
Whatever you think you're going to sell, you're going to probably sell half of that out of the gate.
Because what you like, they might not like.
Yeah.
So what if you guys are guys, girls, whatever your ambitions are, if you're going to open a supplement store, realize you need to be more than supplements. Realize you need to provide more than just this is a product that I sell and you're going to come for it. We're all not Target. We're all not there and Chick-fil-A and selling nuggets, all right? You need to understand that what you are doing in a supplement store needs to be evolved and it needs to change. You need to become an entity. You need to become something more than just providing a pre-workout sale. So if for all my bros out there that are trying to rock out and do a supplement store, because I think at the end of the day, like I don't know, I know there's a lot of wonderful retail stores that have closed, but also at the end of the day, like I can honestly tell you, retail still can be very successful.
Absolutely.
So if guys or girls, if you're going to jump into this and you're going to jump into this business, just understand it's going to be hard and it's going to be a lot of work and it's not going to pay off in a year. It's not going to maybe pay off in 2. You're going to be making moves. But listen, if you really put your foot to the floor and you really get in the community and become something more than a supplement store, you'll look back in 5 years and you're going to be thankful to the man upstairs for giving you the opportunity.
Got to jump in. All the way in.
That's a great way to finish. Well, this was an awesome podcast.
Thank
like I said,
so much,
we're
guys.
definitely going to be doing this again. But guys, till next time, keep crushing it.